Hi everyone, that's right, I'm back with some more Disney Infinity tutorials. Now, the good news is over the next few days you'll see a large number of clips being released, because I know it's been a while since the last set, but they do take a while to put together, as I keep mentioning. This one is called Evacuate Echo Base, and I have mentioned that I wanted to keep doing a Star Wars level, and I decided to come back to Star Wars, and I was trying to think of what things can I still show you that's going to be new and slightly different. And so I've created this top-down maze type level, like a dungeon level, on evacuating the rebel base. And the reason for that was I was trying to play with different camera views. Now, this is a new angle view we're going to play around with, which I thought was quite good. And it was, so you're navigating through a maze, you can't see all the areas. And the other view is actually try it down as a physical top-down view. And that's one of the powerful things about this game. You can create any style of game, which is quite impressive. So we'll discuss the different views later on and see what you think is which one's better. But what I'll do is I will play this through and I'll play through the entire level. So this clip is just going to be the entire level, and I'll talk about the different mechanics that I'm going to cover in the series of clips that are coming. So what we do is as we open through the door into the base, we have to get out of the base, yeah? And as you'll see now, troops will start to appear. Now, when I first did the clip, the final version that I've actually done has a lot more Imperials to destroy. But the problem with that is, for me to actually do the level, it took me about an hour to finish the level, so the clip would be just too boring. So I picked Luke Skywalker, and only a few Imperials appear in this run through, but the final version I have a lot more. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to get out of the base, because like I say, the Imperials have entered the base and we've got to escape. So we've got to help the transporters get away, and then we've got to make it to our own ship, the Falcon. So what we do, we've got to try and get through the base. Now, what I've done is I've got certain parts of the door. So let's just see. I'll see in a second as we get rid of some of these enemies, and we'll fight away. And you'll see these will move, just using Luke Skywalker, which is quite cool. So I quite like the view on here, getting used to different characters. But we have to fight the various bases on here. And the objective here is we've got certain doors that you've got to get through, and those doors are locked. So we're going to want to kill these enemies off. And like I mentioned, this is the cut down version, so there's about like 30 that come and attack me at this particular point. And also a thing with the enemies that once they appear, they don't reappear again. So there are certain areas that trigger them off. But once they're dead, they've gone. Right, have I got rid of them all now? Oh, I'll just get rid of these sets. Alright. Alright, so they get rid of these. Cool. He's dead. Come on. There we go. Right, so once I've cleared an area of troops, we have these doorways, and there are doorways that let you get to certain parts. Some doors are red herrings, and you'll see I click on it, the door doesn't work. So part of the logic I want to show you is that you have to find keys. Those keys will unlock the door. Now we also don't want you able to keep pressing the buttons and losing the key count as well. So the trick with this particular level is to show you how to collect keys. And I've got all these swipe card things. So these keys are scattered throughout our level. And that's why I thought an angled view might be quite handy to use. You'll see I'm getting quite tricky rotating the camera. And I've got my rubble and different types of effects trying to look like it's a snow base. I'll go and get another key over here as well. And obviously when you go into the base, certain trigger areas will pass things off. So you'll see there's another key here I get. And you'll see the counter at the top now tells me I have 2 keys. So these 2 keys now allow me to open the 2 doors. Yeah. So I'm just going to kill these guys off. So more guys appear. So again, like I say, I've got different sections appear. Once you get further into the base, they all die. I think one thing I would change with this when I look back playing this game is I would actually move the buttons to the side, because a couple of times I've shot the door and that's wasted one of my keys. So we've nearly got these all finished, so let's get them killed off using Luke Skywalker. And just to give you an idea, this character Luke Skywalker, I got one of these FX characters, and for designing this level he went straight up to level 20 all the way through. So some different types of attempts we've tried on this one. Alright, so they're almost done. Are they done? Yeah, there we we go. So now we go back to this door that we tried earlier that wasn't working. When I press that button now, you'll now see that the door opens up and we can now go through the door. And another thing I notice here is you'll notice all the doorways start with like a yellow pattern on there, just to let the user know that that is a door. Yeah, once you've seen one door, then once you see those stripes, you know that there's a doorway on that screen. So we now have another hallway which we go through, different sections in, more troops appear. There's Imperials in the base, Luke Skywalker. Oh, I've noticed when playing with Luke Skywalker, he's quite angry. And we've got the new film coming this year, The Last Jedi, so I wonder, does Luke turn bad? What's going to happen? Too many predictions? Oof, can't wait for that. And as you see, you get to here, and you've just wasted a key. So that's no good. Like, no! So we're going to run back, and we're going to go and try and up an area of the map. So the object here is you've got to try and find your way through the maze, and I haven't, on purpose, haven't given you enough keys to get all the way out. So if you use a key up, you can by chance not complete the game. Okay, so the objective here was not to make it easy that you can do it. If you open the wrong doors, then you are stuck in the base and you won't do it. I believe I'm playing around with different timing effects that you could do it on the screen. So this is our 3D angle. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to change the view of this so we can see it in the top view and just see what we think this game plays like. And at first glance, when we play it, the one thing I found with this first, when I did my test runs, it all seemed quite good because I was running on a green background. I hadn't coloured everything in. And the only problem I've got with this is that the stormtroopers are white as well, so everything becomes a bit too whitey. And I need it to be white because it's a Hoth base, so I would probably change this. It's okay, I've got the shadow here, but I would probably, if I'm doing top down, I'd make it a base with a harder floor, so we can see more characters. Now also I've got a barrier at the top which stops me able to jump over the wall, but the guards can still climb all over. So we'll get some of these killed off. Oh, got an explosion, can jump out of the way. Now one of the guards there, yeah, he's standing right by the door. If I stand there, I'm going to end up shooting him. I wanted to withdraw him away. So what I've got is we've got different aspects in here. One of the things I'll show you down here later. Let's see, is you'll see I can see a little door on the map. And being a top view, you can slightly see more of the surrounding areas than you can do in the slightly angled view. So this view I did it, and this was my initial approach, to do it this way. Come on, walk away from that button. I don't want you there. Alright, he comes back. Come on. I'm trying to entice him away. There he goes. Come away now. Now I can kill him. Yeah. Right, so I've used one of the door buttons. If I press this button here now, I've now opened this doorway, and you'll now see at the top there I've got 0 keys. Okay, so now when I walk round the back down the side, if I go round either side of the screen, you're going to find out that as I come round here and I go and press the button, you'll find out here that this button now won't work, and therefore the key's gone. So I need to find more keys. That's no good, so I need an option. So it keeps a record of the count and it goes through between different effects. Now also, later in the game I've done another effect to do with the power. I wanted to give the effect that the stormtroopers cut the power from the system. So what I'm going to do also is I've got a whole section where I use the power generator, and I've always been trying to work out how can I use the power generator because it looks so cool, a toy in your toy box. So in this thing here you'll see we've got the power generator and you can see it's running, it's all switched on, everything's going fine. And if we press this button here, what I do is I use a sky changer to change it to the pitch black theme, and with a lightsaber it's quite good. It gives you quite a cool effect, and so it now looks dark and it looks quite demon on the screen. So I quite like that effect on the system, which is not too bad. Now I'm going to switch it back on so you can see better, but I wanted to do a little power generator supply so you can see how that works. We can switch that on and off. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to now head back through the other areas, and now there's no troops because we've cleared all the areas, so we're still now trying to find the transporter. Now you could set a timer to the whole level and see how you can get out of it, but as you'll see it put through. Now also, those that are checking this via your tablet or your internet, I've actually created the map for this in a diagram that you can download. And if you look at the bottom area, there's a link on the address which will show you where, if you go onto the YouTube page, you can see the address which will show you how to construct all the bricks and I'll show you in my other clips how we're going to put this all together. But this entire map you can download and then rebuild it from scratch. Right, let's get a few other people to kill in here. Right, come on Luke, we'll get him killing. Now as you'll see me trying to go through, I'm trying to find a transporter. Different people attacking me, which we'll try and beat through. But just to give you a couple of pointers as well, this has been created on a PS4 Pro. And I was wondering, does a PS4 Pro give me more memory? Does it make my maps larger or bigger? Or does it give me, because it's meant to be a slightly more powerful machine, will it work? Now because Disney Infinity don't support it anymore, they haven't expanded the processor on this, so sadly I've tested it, there is no change. So my city maps are still to the max. It didn't give me any bonus. There's no advantage for me using the Pro. Now some people say, well, have you got a 4K TV? I don't have a 4K TV. My TV that I have is good enough quality as it is. So what's the reason for the Pro? Well, I'm hoping when we put this on YouTube that the quality of this video capture is going to be a high resolution. So this is really another first test to see what the video sequence is like and see if it's a sharper picture than before. So put your comments if you think the image looks better, but the PS4 Pro captures it in slightly higher resolution, so I'm hoping it's going to look slightly clearer when I finally finish this clip off. But the main reason we got the Pro was to use it with the VR, and the VR does make a difference if you're using the PS4 Pro. A couple of things I've seen are definitely sharper on the screen. Right, but that's me sidetracked. And now you see I've come to a hangar. I've used my key. I've got one key left, as you can see on my counter. And as I run through here now, there's my transporter. More Imperials in here. I've got to help these transporters get away. Now, when I first switched the level off, right, you may thought, oh, I don't like this view. But now you've seen it for a few minutes, I was quite liking this view. It's quite an easy way to control it. So let's press my button. Doors open for the hangar doors, and the transporter is away. Way. So that's the first part done. Right. And also, just in case anyone's wondering, the map for this, by the way, I'd love to take all the credit and say, yeah, I came up with the design of the map. I was playing on holiday. I was playing a game called Alien Breed on the Vita, and it's an old classic game I used to play when I was younger, and I really liked that game. I basically, this is where I got the idea of making a Hoth game using the same level. So if you ever go on the internet and you look up Alien Breed and just do Alien Breed level 1, you'll notice that the layout is very, very similar to that map. I actually pinched their ideas, and the big question is, why not? If the map's good, let's use it. Alien Breeds is like an alien game, and this one is Star Wars. So I've slightly tweaked it, obviously for me, but that's the whole point of this screen. Yeah. Right. So I've now got to this screen here. I'm now going to change the view back to my angled view. So we're just going to change the section of the screen, and you'll now see that I've changed it. So I've had to do it because you can't see me through that button. And there's a reason why I wanted this angle view for this particular level. In here I've got a doorway. So I've opened the door, right, and I've got what seems to be a large area. So oh, it's a very large area. Always suspect when you see large areas. And then you'll notice the button's on one side. And if we look in the top right hand corner, you'll see, oh look, there's another door. But there is no buttons. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, as I walk into the base, away from the door, right, so as you'll see, I'm coming back in, nothing, I can't see anything, but as I walk away from the door starts to close and Darth Vader appears. I am now trapped in this level and cannot do anything until I beat Darth Vader. So now I have to have this fight with him, yeah, and if I go and try and go to the other door is trapped as well, so I've now got to defeat him as Luke. So we've got a boss fight in here, and so again, what I'm going to show you when I do this is the logic that what triggers the doors to close, what triggers them to reopen them, because when I beat Darth Vader, those doors are going to open back up. And the doors are controlling the user where they go. Okay, and also I wanted to show you a boss fight with this particular angle, because it's quite a cool angle here. I started off quite well in this bit, and then I seemed to struggle a bit here, which is not too bad. Right, now, one of the things I got wrong with the PS4 Pro settings is that I messed up with the mic settings on the screen. So I've done all these clips, and it took a while to put them through, and as I've started constructing the videos, I've realized it picks up my voice when I was creating them. Normally I have that switched off, and I forgot to switch that setting off, so I'm hopefully dubbed that out. But if you can faintly hear me talking in the background, that is me just doing my little test when I do my test things and check what I'm going to go through. So apologies for that, but if I edited it all again, you'll never get this clip until Christmas. So in the meantime, I just thought I'd point it out in case anyone thinks the sound's a bit dodgy. I've tried to edit it out as much as possible, but hopefully it shouldn't affect the game too much. Now, another reason for the delay for some of my games is I don't play Disney Infinity all the time. As I mentioned, I like my other games, but I have been playing the Uncharted game, Lost Legacy, which I have to say we loved it here. We thought it was a really good game. Thought the story was brilliant. And while I'm on this, while you'll see me fighting Darth Vader, I can have a little rant at IGN. See, I personally, I like to follow games. I like to see what people think of games. I read reviews, so I'm quite interested in what people say. And I follow IGN, which are an internet website which basically does all load of reviews. Most people who are into games will be aware of them. And they gave Uncharted Lost Legacy 7.5, and it's criminal. The game's a 9. It's absolutely brilliant, and I think it's about 24 quid. Loved it. One of the best games of the year. The story is brilliant. I highly recommend that. We've had great pleasure with that one. So, what games have you played this summer that you think has been really good? And also, what games are you looking forward to? Because we've still got no replacement for Disney Infinity coming. So don't get me started on that one. But we've got what we've got. We've got the new Assassin's Creed, which actually surprisingly does look really good. We've got the new Star Wars Battlefront, which I'm looking forward to. Then obviously there's what else we've got coming. We've got the new Shadow of Mordor. Was it Shadow of War? That's coming as well. So there's a few games. So what games have you found to be your best this year, and what games are you looking forward to for Christmas and stuff like that? Always interested. Right. I know Destiny came out. I'm not a Destiny fan. I don't know why really. I didn't get into that one. I didn't give it the time, I don't think. There's too many good games at the moment. Right, so we're nearly beating him. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. Oh, this is where I was doing quite well, and then it took forever. But I have to say, after playing around with this level, it's quite a hefty sized level, and it's the flow of it. And I think one of the reasons why I wanted to do this level was that after I played Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, the design of that game is brilliant. The way the story leads you through, the way certain levels were, we found the levels not to be too hard. It's like a big giant puzzle game, and you're a treasure hunter. The puzzles were tricky, but not too tricky. So you felt that when you could still achieve them, you could have to work them out. And I think the reason why you could solve them all was the game design is so laid out. It gives you the little hints without realizing. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a level that, now that we can't use the text, which is really annoying, yeah, I wanted to show you that you could still create a level and still the users would still be able to work out how those sections work. So the yellow bars to let you know they're doorways, yeah, so now everyone knows that they're doorways. Bits you can't complete certain areas to certain things are done. So that was the attempt of this one, trying to work out how I can get the user to do different approaches to the level. You don't have to go the one way. So in this case I've gone straight to battle Vader. We're not actually done the whole part of the game. This really is one of the last sections. Okay, so we have only got one transport away. We haven't got the other one yet. So we've jumped the gun. But again, I wanted to give the player the opportunity to do different stages to this. In the end, the player's still got to do all the different areas, but they can do it in their own order. So it's up to them. So that was the plan really, and hopefully that's what it's worked. Now you see we're back to this angle view. You're now looking again. It's not quite a bad view. Oh, I've got him. Finally got him. And also, just to be aware, now that he's died, just to point, those doors have opened. And look, another door's opened. Fantastic. But as I come across, this door's closed, right? I'm now going to spin the camera around because you'll notice, you'll see there's another, look, there's another door there. Then that door is open because we've done one transporter. Okay, so although we've done the level, we've killed Vader, we haven't actually got all the transporters away. So okay, right, where do we go now? We've got to go to another place which we haven't been yet. So look around here, and there's another doorway. And again, this is a trap here because you can only go one way. I've got these jets of fire, and you get these from the Marvel Battleground playset. If you'll notice, there's these big jets of fire, and you can jump through and you can get through on the list. But the downside is you can't get back. As it disappears off, as you come away, the fire's already started again. So you can move down, but you can't go back on the screen. So you're trapped in this area. So you have to switch the fire off or you're trapped. So again, you've gone down this way to do transporters, but now you've got to work out how the hell do I get back out. So press the button, open the door. Okay, what have we got in here? No troopers, cool. Let's launch this transporter. Now by doing this transporter, that'll open one of the other doors, so that flies through, transporter away. Cool, so that's the two transporters. Two of those doors are now open. Okay, but I can't get back. Yeah, can't get through that section. So the only way I can go is through this way. Now again, as soon as I go around here, I'm going to trigger some enemies. Like, oh man. But then I go, ooh, what's this? I've got a teleport thing. Where does this take me? Okay, and that takes me to a sealed room on the other side within the map. So there's no doorway in here. I'm like a little cavern, and it's meant to give the impression that we're in some sort of cave. Okay, oh, look, oh, there's my little cave. And we see a button. Now, as soon as I walk into here, that releases the swamp monsters. Yeah, so you'll see in the corner I've got one of these monsters appear. There you go. Now, in my final version, I have 4 of the things. Absolute nightmare. So I'm now trapped with these beasts because I'm meant to be in some sort of hidden cave. That's the impression I was trying to give you, that you got into the cave section. So we'll kill this. Use my lightsaber to block it. Get him. There we go, got him. So we've pressed the button, we've killed all the monsters. Okay, so let's go back to our teleport because there's nothing else to do. Which will now return me back. And there's no logic for the teleporter, by the way. All you do is just stick the teleporter in, stick another one, and it'll jump to it. So I've got more Imperials now, which I need to kill. So I'm back to here. What am I going to do? But what it has done, right, as I spin the camera around, right, as you come around, you'll now notice that the fire has now been switched off. Oh, we're getting a bit angry now. As I come back through here, you see the doorway here. Got some more, still more Imperials that come through. They're coming in, but the jets have gone. The fire has gone from the screen. So you'll see here there is well, when I spin the camera around, there is no fire down that section of the screen. There's one more Imperial trooper. Just killing him. Just doesn't care, does he? Got some issues though, Luke, and he got some issues. Right, just check there's anything else in this room. Nope. So there's nothing else I can do here. So let's go back. Okay, hold on. There's no fire anymore. That button has switched that fire off, so I can now go back, which is quite handy. Right, so the 2 transporters have gone. Now we're going to go back to the final stage. Alright, now if you look, one door's gone, the second door's gone, the third door's gone. We've just got the final door with a button. Excellent, let's press it. Oh no, they've cut the power. Where is there a part in the level where we can turn the power back on? Now I'm hoping that the user may have done this, but we're going to get the user to go back. Now you could add your own time limit on here. Once you press that button, you've got a time limit of say 30 seconds or a minute to go and get the power back on, otherwise the whole base blows up. So I've darkened it all down, and I've now got to get back to the power and switch them all on. Another thing I've done is that when you cut the power, I reset all the trigger areas. So all the trigger areas are now switched on. So now when I run through them, they're going to regenerate and all those troops come back. Now, as I say, I've cut down the walkthrough, but if I was doing this another way, there would be roughly about load more about 40-50 troops. So you'll see as I come around here, they start to appear. The cool thing is now I get to have a lightsaber battle in the night. Look at this. This is quite cool. Oh, see, that's not too bad, is it? Which is not too bad. There we go. Come on. Let's get rid of him, kill down. See, Luke kills well, but I think he kills way too aggressive. Right, and we get around here. There's the power switch. Switch it on. Where we got the power back on. That now puts the power on and now activates the switch, so I can now get all the way back, which is not too bad. So I'm going to run back. Try and remember my way. So also put in your comments, what did you think about the different views? Yeah, because I quite like to be in different this view, and I preferred this view to start with, and then when you actually play the gameplay, the top view actually you get used to quite quickly. So then I was torn between the two, and then in a moment I'm going to give you just a little run through with the normal view, which is still the best. After all that, I'm going to probably go back to the other one anyway. So now we run through. I'm hoping that we can press this button and the door will now finally open. Oh, fantastic, brilliant. So all we've got to do is get to the Falcon, which is just there to the right, and we're away. So we've got more troops appearing. But sadly, I've used too many keys. Yeah. Oh, another thing just to be aware of, when you use a lot of people, if there are too many all at one time, the memory of the computer goes. Now what happens there is that when the memory on the computer, the console goes, it doesn't stop the enemies from generating. They generate, but you can't actually kill them. There's too much for it to deal with you hitting them, so they come virtually invincible, so you have to take some of the other ones that you can, and then once you've got them down you can come back and kill those individuals. But they still appear, which is quite cool. Just be wary of that, so sometimes you may want to keep it just a little bit smaller. Right. Oh, he jumped over the wall. Right. Right, let's open this door. See, I can't open the door. It won't work. And the reason why I can't open the door is I forgot to get a key. So I've now got to go and find another key. Like, damn. So I'm going to see where I can find a key. Now, just so I don't bore you, because it's in the furthest corner of the room, which I forgot to do, I'm just going to speed up time so you don't find us waiting. But I'm just going to collect a key that I left behind in one of the other places. So here we go. This is where the key was. It was in that room. So I now have my one key. And more troops to fight. Okay. And then when we get through to the end, we press the button. Now what I'm going to do also is that once I've finished this little clip here, or this level, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the different sections to it. And then we'll just look at it a slightly different view, and then I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what I'm going to do after this clip, because I keep promising I'm doing something else. I just want to prove to a point that I am working on something else. So let's hopefully see if that works now. There we go, final door. We run into the final base, and there's the Falcon. And if I press that, dun dun dun, that opens the hangar. We've done our job. Yeah, the mission is complete. Game over. So this is the map that I've got, and you'll see there's a slightly blue haze to it. That's because I've got a blocker that you can't jump out over it, so you can't cheat. So that's blockers there on the screen. I'll take that off, just make it a little bit easier, just delete that off for the moment. And as we pan around, you'll see the trigger areas where you've got, and those trigger areas when you walk through will set enemies to appear, and it'll spread through the list. Yeah. So you've got your little corridors here on the side. We've got little doorways. Yeah. You'll see here at the moment some different doorways with keys locked in them. You've got the power supply all the right size here to fit the power supply on, and I've measured all these out as well. And you've got then other rooms. That's my cave, by the way, that had no doorways in it at all. It's just a barren room what we use. There's the jets that cut through, and as you can see the jets, they don't, there's a gap but it doesn't fire at all, which works quite handy. Then you've got you've got the transporters here to the left here, so there's the two transporters which you've got to get through your troops out. Yeah. And then you've got your final one where you've got to get to the last hangar, which is the Falcon, yeah, and that's your way out. But that's controlled by those 4 doors, depending if you defeat Vader and you do the other 2 transporters, and then you've got the kill switches in there. So that really is the level, and what I'm going to show you over the next several clips, and there's quite a few clips coming over the next few days, and I'm going to try and do a clip a day, can show you how to build all these areas. So one thing you are going to need to do is you are going to need to download the map guide. Oh yeah, this is all the logic I got here before, and just to prove a point, it's still got my matrix logic, so when I finish this I'll be adding my own special words to those, but it will still work with all that logic in as well. So I've just changed character to Mr. Obi-Wan, and I'm just going to show it from this view now and see what you think with this view. So this is the normal view that we play the game on. Okay, so you can do it the other way, or you could do it from this side. And I was thinking, because do I need a roof on this? Yeah, do I? Well, I don't think I do actually. I know it's meant to be a base, but once you get playing, I don't think you need it. Look at that for a block, by the way, that was quite cool. Now, the character himself, I'm not a great fan of the actual Infinity character Obi-Wan. I thought his view could be better, but the actual gameplay of him is awesome. And he fights a bit more defensively. He fights a bit more, not as rough as Luke Skywalker. And also, I chucked him on also. Not only that, is because what about there being an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie? Flipping fantastic, or what? And if Ewan McGregor does it, even better. And if they got Mace Windu as well, could be good. See, as you're playing it, I have to say he's quite a cool character, but I'm looking at this, I'm quite liking this view. So I've saved this level 3 times, and one's called top view, angle view, or normal view. And I also think I still quite like the normal view. So what do you think was the best view as well? Do you like the top view? If you're not too sure, you're just going to have to build it and then test it and see what you think. Yeah. I have to say, character-wise, gameplay character-wise, he's brilliant. So actually, he's not too bad on this. I can daze him out here. Right. So what I'm going to be trying to do is over the next few days, I'm going to release a clip a day. So that they should all be out for the weekend. So there's at least 5 clips, and it's going to break down this entire level. Yeah, showing you how to build the walls, the maps, the doors, the logic, how to use the logic gates for the doors, how to trigger Darth Vader, how to trigger the power cuts. I'm going to have each different one related to this series, and these are going to be out through September. And then at the end of this clip now, I'm just going to give you a little preview on the other stuff that I'm working on. Which I'm hopefully going to get out in November, because when Star Wars Battlefront 2 is coming out, I'm not going to be playing this until December, so it's going to be probably my last one for the end of the year, the Helm's Deep clip. Yeah, but I'm hoping that these series of clips justifies the wait, and you'll have to let me know, was it worth the wait. Oh yeah, and one last thing, can I just thank everybody that subscribed. I don't do this channel for business, I just do it just for the fun of it. But I'm up to 5,000 subscribers, and I can just say thanks for all the support and kind words everyone gives. It's been quite a shock of the feedback I've got. It's only been positive, so I've been very pleased with that. So thank you very much. And I'm going to keep doing these clips, but please be patient with me because they take a while to put together. It's not something I can just do, and this is not what I do for my job. This is just something I do in my spare time. So I hope you like these clips. I hope you find them of interest. And thanks for all the support. Now, as a little treat, I'm just going to show you that I am working on something else. I'll just give you a little preview now of what's to come. So I'm going to speed this through, but all the feedback, and still chucking your ideas, by the way, because I'm still going to try and keep doing other things. So Obi-Wan Kenobi did quite good there. I quite like him. Right, so look out this week. Keep tuned, they're all coming. So there'll be more clips coming through the side. Apologies for any sound little glitches that you may overhear in the background, but hopefully have those fixed. So this is my Helm's Deep level, okay, and this is what I've been working on. This is the actual castle itself. We've got different levels. We've got the doorway. When you come through the door, you're going to climb up the side. You're going to go to the next courtyard. You go round up to the top as well, and you have to defend that. Okay. We've also got dragons in here that's going to be on the place that will be attacking the base as well. And you'll see here this trench that has opened. That's actually going to be a wall, and that is going to be a wall that explodes. And you've got to stop the berserkers running at the wall, blowing it up. And once they've blown a hole through, then it'll send loads more troops. Now my Helm's Deep's going to be slightly different because I'm going to use Stormtrooper characters, but that's what's coming. So I am working with that clip, and I have promised that I was working on that. So I didn't want to think I was just talking rubbish. But thanks for the clip, and speak to you soon.